You belong on every ground your feet grace, so don't ever feel out of place. Take up space and belong. This earth is your birthplace. Hey loves, welcome back to the Sensual Genius channel. In this video, I'm going to do a review of a movie that I saw on Tubi called The Serial Cheater. And it's starring Sierra Angelia as Jada, Casey Clark as Peaches, Christopher Collins as Jason, Sino Harris as Jason's dad, Mina Monroe as Kima, and Elizabeth Fox as Corey. So it starts off with Jason outside talking to his cousin. He invites him to dinner at his mom's house. They both go together, and Jason's girlfriend Corey is already there with his family. Jason's mom tells Corey she's proud of her for getting a promotion. The cousin is being inappropriate, asking Jason's sister and her partner about like lesbian couple, like invasive stuff. Like he was just being inappropriate and it uncalled for or whatever. He was like that through the whole freaking movie. Like just that one family member that just be saying the most random stuff because they think it's funny, but it's actually rude. But they get away with it because people actually laugh at the joke instead of calling them out for being rude and for being mean. Like he was that family member. But they're ignoring him. Corey tells Jason's mom and Jason that she couldn't have gotten her promotion without Jason. Like he's been very supportive and he's a good partner to her. And she basically is like, it's the dinner is about her, but she's basically like encouraging him for helping her get there. And she's telling him she loves him, and his mom tells him that he's a supportive son and partner, and that's beautiful in a man. Because I feel like at this point right here, they feel like he has improved as a person, as a partner, and everything, but he really he really hasn't, but they don't know that. So like they're giving him like words of encouragement and like giving him his flowers basically. Okay, so after that, after the dinner, his mom asks him how he's feeling and tells him it's time to start thinking about marriage and having kids. He told her he isn't on that, and she's trying to like gauge like where his mind is at to kind of see uh how far he's come and like if he actually changed and stuff like that. Like him and his mom, you could tell him and his mom has a close relationship, and they talk about everything. Like that's like his best friend or whatever. She thinks that he has changed because he's been with the same girl for 2 years. Like Corey is his longest relationship, is his longest commitment. So his mom thinks that he changed. So in the next scene, Jason and his cousin goes to the club. No, Jason, his cousin, Corey, and some of their friends go to the club, but she leaves early because she says she had to go out of town for work. I'm not gonna lie, in this scene, I thought she was lying. I thought she was like saying she was going out of town so like she could sneak back up on him and catch him doing something. But I think she wasn't. She tells him to behave while she's gone. Jason asks his friend how he knew that his fiance was the one when they're alone. And his friend tells him he just knew, like, I just knew that she was the one or whatever. Then Jason asks him, does he love her? And he said, yeah. No. Then Jason's friend asked him if he loved Corey, and he said, yeah. But then he started naming a bunch of superficial reasons why he loved her. So his friend told him if all he could focus on was looks, he doesn't love her for real. So while they're talking, his cousin comes over and invites them to hang with some girls. Like, this is already too much because one of them married, one of them engaged, and the other one is in a relationship. So it's like, here we go. One of the girls is immediately attracted to him. Then they go to a scene where they have sex. Uh, he comes in the room bringing her breakfast and everything the next morning. And then we find out they started talking, so we find out that he been dealing with this girl for 6 months. So this nigga was really didn't change, and he was cheating. He was dealing with her for 6 months, and I think he ghosted her or something like that for a little while. She tells him he's for everybody, and she feels sorry for his girl. Then, like right after she says that, Corey walks in on them, and she charges at the girl. The girl tells her, "Don't be mad at me, be mad at him, because I'm not the one who cheated on you. He cheated on you." Then she leaves. After the girl tells Corey, like, "I'm not your problem, that nigga is your problem," she leaves. And Corey is like, "You," like, she asked her, she like, you cook her breakfast, nigga? Like, you cooking, you out here cheating. But you cooking her breakfast because, you know, when we women and we always focus on the wrong thing. Like, we never really, we don't ever focus on what's important. We focus on the thing that catches our attention. And the thing that caught her attention was that he was cooking her breakfast. And I would have been mad too, because number one, you using our groceries on this girl. Number two, you don't be cooking me breakfast. Why you cooking her breakfast? And when he brought the breakfast to the girl, I was so confused because I thought it was gonna be for her, and then it was for the girl. And I was like, "Excuse me?" He got the nerve to cook her breakfast too. But then she tells him, "F him," and she leaves. She like, I'm done. Like, I'm done. You done cheated on me multiple times. I've forgiven you multiple times. Now I'm done. In the next scene, Jason he's all sad and distraught and depressed and everything. Like, he acting like he lost his best friend or whatever. He's talking to his mother about what he did. She lectures him about hurting Corey and tells him he's acting like his father. She tells him if he loves Corey, he needs to let her go. Like, you've hurt her too many times. If you love her, let her go, because you don't mean her no good. And she also tells him if he doesn't want to be like his father, then don't be. Like, because he hates his dad because of the way his dad did his mother, because his dad cheated on his mother and like broke her heart and stuff. Yet he ends up, I don't understand a lot of times people, and I ain't gonna say men, because it be people's logic. Like, you go through something, somebody put you through something, and then you go and do it to somebody else. It don't make sense to me. Like, I don't know. It just don't make sense to me. You already know how karma works, and you think it's okay for you to treat somebody the way that somebody else treated you, and that you're gonna get away with it. You're a liar. But she basically tells him, if you don't want to be like your daddy, then don't. Stop doing stupid stuff. So he goes to talk to his cousin. His cousin tells him he messed up and he didn't deserve Corey. Then in the same breath tells him F Corey. Like, forget her. Like, forget these hoes. We don't care nothing about. I was like, his cousin the whole time was a terrible friend. He was giving him terrible advice. Like, it would seem like 1 minute he actually cared and he giving him good advice, and then in the next breath he would say something to mess it all up. And I would be like, what was the point? And obviously his cousin is just there for comedic relief. To me, he ain't even really funny. He just one of those people that is annoying. Like, the way he perceives things, his like character, the fact that he keeps putting Jason in situations to cheat when he knows that he's with somebody. And I feel like people be having friends like that. I'm not going to put my friend in a position to cheat. I'm not going to help my friend cheat. I'm not going to condone it. I'm not going to be around it. I'm just not. But you have some people who would do that, and it's cool. And it's like, they my friend. I'm not friends with their significant other, but they're your friend, so you should be holding them accountable. But anyway, Jason sits down with Corey and takes accountability for what he did and asks for forgiveness. She says she forgives him, but she like, I forgive you, not propose to me. And he like, what? Like, where does this come from, bro? I literally just cheated on you. I'm asking you for forgiveness, and the way for you to forgive me is for me to propose? You tripping. But he tells her, she like, propose to me and I'll forgive you. I'll say yeah. And he like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I need time to work on myself because he's no good. He said, because I'm no good to anybody the way I am. And she like, nigga, you breaking up with me? You cheated and you're breaking up with me? How dare you? Like, I'm the one who's supposed to be breaking up. I'm the one who's supposed to storm out and everything. You don't get to do this because you're the one who did wrong, but he broke up with her. And this is the perfect example of how a lot of people will accept somebody and they'll forgive them and forgive them and forgive them, and they be the ones that break up with you after you forgiven them a million times. They don't care. That's why when in situations like that, you need to leave, because only one or two things happening. He gonna keep doing it, or they're going to keep doing it, or they're going to eventually get tired of being with you, whether that is because they want to change for real, or because they just don't want to be with you because you're not. A lot of the times a person will dump you for forgiving them because they feel like you weak and they don't want to be with nobody like that. So I ain't never forgiven no cheating. I mean, I'll forgive it, but I'm not about to stay with you. In the next scene, Jason is at the club mourning his relationship when a woman comes to sit beside him. He's immediately attracted to her, of course, because this nigga is a dog. She's looking at him like she wants to devour his soul and turn his flesh into an area rug. He is enamored with her, like he's mesmerized, like he can't take his eyes off of her. She asks him to dance with her. They dance. And like they're having a good old time. Like they know each other. Like they're not strangers. They're like literally, if you walked into that club and saw them together, you would think that they were together, but they weren't. But after they finish dancing, like he leaves the dance floor to go get them a drink. And when he turned back around, she was gone. In the next scene, Corey visits her cousin while he's doing a virtual dance class. She interrupts him. He has to stop the video because she's in crisis. She needs answers for something. She asks him if the girl saw Jason last night, and he confirms that Jada made contact. Corey's cousin's name is Peaches. Peaches gives Jada all of the information she needs on Jason, but Jada is reluctant to help Corey because her expectations are too high. She thinks that Corey expects her to transform Jason into the man she wants and give him back to her. Peaches tells Jada he thinks she's overreacting. Then Jada makes him recite what she taught him about the difference between a cheater and a serial cheater. Basically, a serial cheater is not going to change. It's her motto. That's how she feels. He's trying to convince her to take on the job so she can get a loan from the bank because she wants to open up a poetry spot, a poetry club, or whatever. So like he's using her dream to convince her to take this job or whatever. She says she wants to help, but she can't change a serial cheater. And basically what's happening is basically Jada is a woman who helps other women change their men from cheating or whatever. What she does is she goes and she fakes date these men, and she's the girl of their dreams. She's everything that they want or whatever, and then she ghosts them. And after doing that, the men are supposed to go back to their girls. I don't understand the logic behind that and how that would work, or if this was actually something that was studied, which is why they came up with this concept or whatever. Because I've seen other movies like this. I haven't seen one like this in a minute. And I feel like the way that they executed this was perfect. It was a modern twist on an old concept, and I thought that it was executed perfectly. So Jada goes to talk to her dad about the building for the poetry club she wants to open. Then he starts talking to her about her love life, but she's obviously jaded because of the things she's seen doing what she does. So in doing her work, she is jaded. And also not just because of that, because she had a relationship with the guy that also cheated on her, which I think led her to doing her work. So in seeing all of these cheaters, like, see how these men operate in certain in the situations that she put them in, she becomes jaded. She don't believe that she'll ever find somebody who wouldn't cheat on her or whatever. So she don't got a love life. The only love life she got is the pretend relationship she's been forming with all of these guys to help these girls reform their cheating men. In the next scene, Jason and his friends meet up at the property they're selling. While they wait for a client, they talk about his time with Jada, and he says he has to find her. And then his friend is like, I know what you're talking about because I met a girl that made me feel the same way. Like, I met a girl like this. This sounds just like my girl. But he tells Jason that he's just going to chase her until he has sex with her, and then he'll find a reason to leave her. But Jason denies it, and he's like, no, this is different. Like, I really am feeling this girl. I really like her or whatever. And that's when the dude starts telling Jason about the situation that he had that was similar to his, but the girl ended up ghosting him. And that's what made him go back to his ex and propose. Jason and his cousin are at the bar, and he's telling him about the girl. And his cousin is confused why he's obsessed with the girl he hasn't had sex with yet. And Jason is like trying to explain to him over and over again the connection, and he's just explain this to me again. Like, how do you feel like this about her? Y'all didn't have sex, whatever. But it wasn't that he didn't understand. He refused to accept the fact that he felt this way about a girl he didn't have sex with. Like, in this scene, he was getting on my nerve because he kept trying to explain it, and it was pissing me off. I was like, just don't talk to this nigga about nothing else. Suddenly, Jada shows up at the bar, and Jason is excited to see her. Like, he's like, while him and his cousin is talking, he like looks over and sees her, and he like, that's the girl. Like, this the girl that I'm talking about. And the cousin is like, ooh, like, yeah, like, she fine. I understand why you feel this way or whatever. But before Jason gets to approach Jada, the cousin runs up to her first. But Jason comes behind him and runs him off and starts talking to Jada himself. They start talking about poetry, and she tells him she used to write, and he asks her to hear something, but she says she doesn't write anymore. So they are talking all night. They hit it off well. They seem to get along. He tells her he's a realtor, and she tells him maybe he can help her to buy the building she wants for her poetry spots. He asked her why she wants the building, and she explains her dreams of opening a poetry spot. She asked him about any dreams that he may have, and he tells her that it didn't matter because it was all about her. He was like, it ain't about me. Like, I want to hear all about your dreams and what you like and what you want or whatever. She's impressed, or at least she seems impressed. In the next scene, Peaches asks Jada how it went, and she tells him Corey didn't put everything about him in the notes because there were things that surprised her, specifically the poetry. Then it switches to Jason talking to his cousin about Jada. His cousin said he's saying the same. His cousin tells him, "You're saying the same thing about this girl that you used to say about Corey, but you still cheated on her. So what's gonna be different?" And he like, you got a good point. And it switches back to Jada going down the list of things that made Jason a serial cheater. Like, she pointed out the fact that when she asked him about his dreams, he deflected and turned it back on her so he wouldn't have to get deep with her about anything. He wanted to the connection to be surface level so she wouldn't actually get to know him. And I feel like that is something, I wouldn't say that makes a person a serial cheater, but makes a person that makes a person someone who doesn't want to commit. Like, it kind of tells you what they want from you. Sort of, kind of, because I kind of feel like it's hard to read. You may come across somebody who really is, maybe they don't have any dreams. So in order to impress, instead of making up something, lying to you or whatever, they flip it back on you because they don't have any dreams to talk about and they want to impress you. So instead of like making up something or telling you that they don't have any dreams, they would rather talk about your dreams. Or it could be like she said, somebody who doesn't want you to get to know them. So they literally, when you're getting to know somebody, you kind of have to be careful about like the information you give them, because a lot of the times a person will get all of your information without you getting any of theirs, and a lot of times you don't even realize it. But when you know, like, because I feel like, especially women, because I feel like when women are in the moment, they just feel that connection, and it's just, oh, he must like me because he's asking me all of these questions about like what I want to do and stuff like that. So he's interested. When a lot of the times is he really trying to figure out how to impress you so he can pretend to be somebody that he's not to get you, and then after he gets you and he gets what he want, he gonna just bounce basically. But you gotta have discernment to kind of know. You gotta not get caught up in your feelings or whatever. But I'm one of those people who will get all of your information and not give you nothing about me. Or I will tell you certain things to make you feel like we're both exchanging information when really we aren't. Like, I'm not really telling you nothing. We can have conversations, but I'm not really telling you nothing that you can use against me. And I move like that because at an early age, I learned that people will use your stuff against you. But at the same time, there's literally nothing that has ever happened to me that somebody can use against me. Like, I have healed from all of the things that I've been through. So you ain't going to be able to use nothing against me as a weapon. So I don't care. I can literally tell you everything and still be mysterious to you because you can't use this information to do anything to harm me in any way. But yeah, so I agree with that. She also tells Peaches that she told Jason she had to go to the bathroom, and then she called this girl that she usually uses to get men to turn their heads. So she called the girl. The girl went to the bar or whatever. No, the girl went to the bar before she went to the bathroom. When the girl was sitting at the bar, she told Jason she had to go to the bathroom, and she went. Jason, while she was going, went and talked to the girl that got her number behind her back. That's how she knew that he was a serial cheater. But she ends up like getting caught in her feelings while she talking about it, like getting bent getting bent out of shape while she's talking about him or whatever. And Peach is like, okay, she tells Peaches she called Kima, which is the girl, to see if he would try to talk to her when she went to the bathroom, and he did. He got her number and sat back in his seat like nothing happened. Then it switches back to Jason telling his cousin he can have sex whenever he wants to, but he chooses not to. So his cousin tells him every time he hangs with Jada and doesn't have sex with her, he has to put $20 in the pussy jar. While they're talking, she calls him to set up another date so she can work on him for Corey. But he thinks, like this is real. Like she really want to date me. She want to go on a date or whatever. He asks to cook for her and she accepts his offer. When she goes there, he has this like romantic like display set up for her. Like he has these lights, these candlelights, and there's like this I don't know if y'all ever seen these things before, but it used to be like tumbler rooms. We used to call them tumbler rooms because they used to be like these cozy like situations. Like you got a beanbag chair on the floor, or you got like those poofs that you could put on the floor and sit on. And like he had that set up with the dinner and with the candles, and then he had like lights around the room or whatever. It was really pretty. Whoever designed that set, or all of the scenes, whoever was designing the sets like did a great job, but especially in that scene. But like she walks in and she's shocked, like, dang, he did all this for me. So like they're talking and she asked him like, why you got those LGBT books in your bathroom? Like, are you gay? And at first he's like, he kind of jokes with her about like finding it hard to come out. And she like, nigga, don't play with me. But he finally is honest about how he was trying to understand his sister because she's a lesbian. So he got the book so he could read them to understand his sister because he didn't understand it. So then he gives her a book to inspire her to write again. Then he asks her to dance. She tells him she can't. And I was confused because I was like, well, when y'all first met, y'all danced. So what you mean you can't dance? Now all of a sudden you can't? He offers to teach her how to dance. And they dance. And, they having a good time. They laughing. And he teaching her a little bit of moves. And then, after that, they talk. They laugh. She asks him who taught him how to dance. And he says his mom. She asked him, so they're in the conversation, she asked him if he could dance with one partner forever. And he says, that's a whole different conversation. Like, this is a whole different conversation. Like, being with one person for the rest of my life, that's hard. Like, and it's different because usually he is lying. He lies about this stuff to impress the girl, but he's actually being honest with her about things. But it seems like she's falling for her. And he's falling. No, it seems like she's falling for him and he's falling for her. They go on a series of dates and they seem to be really enjoying themselves. And not like just her working him over or like, but like she seems to really like him. In the next scene, he goes to see his mom and sister and tells them about Jada. But she doesn't take him seriously. Neither of them take him seriously because of what just happened with Corey. His sister asks him what he's doing different, and he can't give them an answer. So his mom tells him she'll always love him, but he is who he is. Like, you just a dog. You just a cheater. Like, you just like your dad. His mom says, like, I'll always love you, but you are who you are. And then she walks away. You could tell that she's really disappointed in him. Like, she's literally probably even more disappointed than Corey. Like, I feel like he hurt his mom more than he actually hurt the girls that he cheated on, because she went through the stuff that he's putting these girls through and she really wanted him to be different. And especially as a parent who taught your child better. You raised them to be different, but they still end up turning out the way you didn't want them to be. That had to hurt her. Like, she had to be hurt to see him be like that, because she know what she went through, and she knows, and it probably makes her feel like she failed him as a parent, because like, you act like your daddy, and maybe if I wouldn't have put up with what I did with him, you wouldn't have turned out like this. So she may be blaming herself for it, but she's so disappointed in him. You can see it anytime he's around her. After this situation happened, she just can't even look at him, can't take him serious. Anything he says, like, she's just like, whatever, nigga, you keep talking like this, but you haven't changed. So his sister tells him if he wants his mother to take him seriously, he needed to show action and stop just talking. In the next scene, Jada is in her head about breaking Jason. She doesn't want to hurt him because she's falling for him. So Kima calls Jada and tells her that she's been blowing Jason up, sending him nudes, everything, putting it all on him, but he hasn't been responding to her. And Jada is shocked, and she also is scared, like, oh my god, like, this is backfiring on me. Like, I thought that I was doing my job, but it's actually backfiring. Like, he likes me, like, and she's scared. She goes to talk to her dad and talks to him about what's going on. He tells her how he used to cheat on her mom to prove to her that a serial cheater can change. So he was telling her how he was just like Jason. He used to cheat on her mom with this woman and that woman, and her mom kept forgiving him. But he said he got tired of hurting her, seeing the hurt in her eyes whenever he would do certain things to her. So he stopped doing it. He told himself that he was going to stop doing it because he was tired of her, and she was a good woman. She held him down. She kept forgiving him. She kept waiting for him to change. She was patient with him, and she still loved him even though he cheated. So he decided that he was going to stop. And he tells her this story to prove to her that a serial cheater can change. And I understood what the message the movie was trying to convey, but matter of fact, I'll wait to the end before I talk about how I feel about it. So Jada and Jason goes to Jada mom's house for dinner, and the mom and sister ask Jada what she does, and she tries to come up with a way to describe her business, but it doesn't come out right. So they looking at her like, it's something about this girl or whatever, but they kind of like breathe, like, whatever, they wave it off. Then they go out to the poetry club, and they go out to a club, and Jason tells Jada that it's an open mic night for poets, but of course she's scared to go up. So he goes up to kind of like give her like he's doing all of these little things to try to encourage her to get back to writing and stuff like that, like, which shows that he actually really likes her. But he goes up, and his poem is terrible. Like, it is trash. The worst poem that I have, and I've read some terrible poems. They boo him. She laughs at him, but she thanks him for doing it for her. He tells her he wants to show her something. Then he takes her to a building. She isn't impressed with the outside of it. Like, she's looking at him like, what is this? Like, why do you have me here? And he like, chill out. Let's go inside, and you can save your comments for after you see the whole thing. But when he takes her inside, she falls in love with it immediately. Like, she's like, this is like perfect. Like, I love this. And he basically tells her, like, I know you want to open up this club to give other people the spotlight, but you really need to get back to your writing and back on the stage. Like, this basically, like, this building is to encourage you to get back to your writing and get back on the stage. Like, I understand why you want to open a club, but this is why I think you should open a club. They kiss and they finally have sex. I don't think Jada has sex with the dudes, so I think he is the first one that she actually had sex with. But she doesn't have sex with all of them. She ghosts them before it gets to that, but she actually really likes him, so she had sex with him. He asks her how long was her last relationship, and she tells him 3 years ago. She tells him that's why she stopped writing poetry. She used to write about love, and then she stopped believing in it because her ex cheated on her. And she tells him her ex is a serial cheater, and she's like, and he's like, what's a serial cheater? And she explains to him, like, a serial cheater is a guy that cheats over and over again. He does it multiple times. And like, she can see the look on his face because as they're talking and she explains to him what it is, he like yeah, I might be that too. So she's like, have you ever cheated? And he like, yeah. And she's like, are you a serial cheater? And he says, yeah, by your definition, from what you say a serial cheater is, I am. And he was talking about, and she's like, do you take responsibility for it? And he's like, yeah, I do. I don't lie about it. I don't make excuses for it. I know what I'm doing is wrong, but it's like I can't help it. Like, it's like it's a sickness. Like, he can't do nothing about it. But he said, he tells her how it hurts him to hurt his mom and his sister when he does it. Like, it hurts him to disappoint them when he does it. Like, he don't really care about the girls, but his mom and his sister, he like, it hurts me to disappoint them. So in the next scene, Jada walks into the apartment singing, and Peaches tells her she needs to get her head in the game. He calls her out for spending too much time with Jason and not spending time with the other guys that these women are hiring her to date so she can change them or whatever. She tries to convince him that her head is in the game, but he knows better. And it switches over to Jason talking to his cousin, and he tells his cousin that he's done being a womanizer. So, in the next scene, Jason's sister goes to a restaurant and sees Jada with another guy. Like, she's supposed to be meeting Jason and their cousin at the restaurant, but she gets there before them, and she gets there and she sits at her table and she looks over and she looks up and sees Jada walking, and she was about to like go speak to her or whatever, but then she keeps looking and Jada goes to sit in front of this guy, and she like, hold up. So when Jason and the cousin walks in, she like points like, you need to go handle that type of thing. So he goes to confront her. And he like, I know you're not answering not answering my phone calls because you on a date with another nigga. Like, please tell me that this is not what I'm seeing. I know you're not doing this to me or whatever. And she like, I can explain, like, it's not what you think, I can explain, but he ain't trying to hear. He leaves, he storms out. He's heartbroken. And like he goes to his mom because like anytime something happens, that's where he goes. He goes to his mom and she's trying to mend his heart. Like, I mean, like, she tries to console him or whatever. Jada is also heartbroken. Like, the two of them are apart, and it's like showing them their lives without each other, and Jada is heartbroken and he's heartbroken. But Jason ends up going back to Corey, but he isn't happy. Like, you could tell that he's not happy with her or whatever. Jada is also depressed. Peaches is happy because they made money from the people she helped, but like, she's not happy anymore. He gives her the money from Corey, and it doesn't make her feel better. In the next scene, Jason is talking to his friend about proposing to Corey, but his friend doesn't believe him. He don't believe that Jason is ready, and like Jason is like, yeah, I think she's the one. He was like, you're right. When you know, I think she's the one. I'm gonna propose. And like they end up talking about Jada. I forgot what they said, but his friend asked to see a picture of Jada, and so he shows her. And he like, that's the girl. That's the girl I was telling you about. That's the one that made me fall in love with her and ghosted me. And Jason is like, what? And then the friend starts giving him a breakdown of what Jada does as her job, because he knows, because after she ghosted him, he researched her. He looked her up to see who she was, and he found out everything about her. So Jason realizes that Corey is the one who hired Jada to get him back, and decides to call off his engagement. He like, I got an engagement to call off. And like he's talking to his friend, and he was basically getting his friend to realize what Jada actually does. He's like, what made you go back to your ex? And he was like, I felt guilty. Like, she made me feel guilty for all of the, since she broke my heart, she made me feel guilty for all of the hearts I broke. And I felt like, and because I felt guilty, I felt like I owed it to my ex to mend her heart. And so he went back to her, and he ended up proposing. He was like, exactly. She's the reason why you went back. You didn't do that on your own. That's what she does. She breaks your heart. She makes you realize the terrible person that you are, and you immediately want to go make up for what you did to the person that you did it to. And then you end up back with them, because what happens when you go back and apologize, they're going to forgive you, and y'all going to get back together. So Corey goes to Jason's mom's house to talk to her about the engagement, because they're already engaged. And she asked his mom, what did she see when Jason was with Jada? And his mom is like, I saw two people in love. Like, I hate to tell you, but he was in love with her and she was in love with him. That's what I saw. And then she tells her that Jason she was like, he's pulling up outside. Y'all should talk. Cause she like, Corey is cool with them being together, but like she doesn't want to be with a man that's in love with somebody else. So she really wants to know, like, did he love her? Like, I want to know how he felt about this girl. And his mom confirms, yeah, he was in love with her. So Jason comes inside the house, and he confronts Corey about hiring Jada to trick him into getting back with her. She tells him, yeah, but that's when she thought he loved her. She was like, yeah, that's what I did. But I did that because I thought you loved me, but you was having issues cheating. So I figured I would find somebody to help you resolve that issue. But she like, but since I know you was in love with her, I don't want to be with a man who's in love with another woman. And it goes to Jada, and Jada is like in her office or something like that, and she just so happens to see the book that Jason gives her, and she starts thinking about him. Then Corey shows up at Jada's apartment and confronts her about being in love with Jason, and Jada admits that she is. She says and Corey is like, I thought that you would be, no, Corey is like, I thought that I would be the woman for Jason, but now I realize all my pain was for him to grow to be with the woman he's supposed to be with. And she thinks it's Jada. Like, you're the woman he's supposed to be with. All of my pain was for y'all to be together. And Jada is like, she like, it kind of hits her. And like, are we supposed to be together type of thing? Jason tries to explain to his cousin what went down, but he acts like he doesn't get it and reduces Jada to being a prostitute. And again, it was, to me, I feel like this nigga's role was just pointless. He did not need to be in the movie. Like, he just was getting on my nerve. He was just making things, to me, he was like a filler. like a buffer, a filler, or whatever. Like, and he, every time he was on TV, he just got on my nerve. Every time he was on screen, he just got on my nerve. And I'm like, why is he there? While they're talking, Jada shows up at Jason's house after she talks to Corey to apologize to him for the part she played and everything. Then she invites him to the spot to perform a poem to him. At first, he pulled the ATL move when she was there. He like, you still here? Basically, like, Rashad, he snatched a chain and he told her to get out, and she wouldn't leave. And he like, you still here? That's the move that he pulled from that scene. And but he ends up showing up at the spot. And she performs the poem. Like, he's standing there while she's performing the poem. And like, after she's done, Peaches is clapping and he congratulates her on a good mic check. So they made it seem like she was performing in front of people, but she was just rehearsing. And he like congratulates her on a good mic check and asks if she's okay to perform the poem in front of a crowd. She tells him yeah. Then he leaves after he like, you must be Jason, and like she introduced them or whatever, and he speaks. He leaves them alone. Okay, so they start talking, and Jason asks her, is Jada even your real name? No. When they was arguing, when she showed up at his house and they was arguing, he was like, is Jada even your real name? She's like, no, my name is Tiana, or whatever. So like, fast forward to him going to see her. But she tells him she's thankful to him for inspiring her to write again. He tells her he's proud of her. They make up and make out. She tells him that cheating was the thing that was preventing them. She tells him that cheating was the thing that was preventing them from finding true love, but they shouldn't let it come between them again. So it's kind of like, cheating was the thing that prevented us from finding true love, but it also brought us together, because if you wasn't cheating, then you would have never met me. So in a way, like, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that you cheated. I guess that you were a cheater. So it's kind of like making her realize, I guess, that there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Like, yeah, he's a serial cheater, but at least I was able to meet him. Like, but if he wasn't a serial cheater, I wouldn't have been able to meet him. So I'm happy that he was a serial cheater because I met him. So it goes off with them like deciding to give each other another chance or whatever. And I give the movie a 7 out of 10. I will say it was one of the best Tubi romance movies I've seen so far. Like, I thought it was really good. I thought it was written really good. Like, the scenes, the way that the scene switched was good. Because y'all know how Tubi is. It's hit or miss. And sometimes you'll find good storylines, terrible acting, terrible quality. Sometimes you'll find good quality, terrible storylines, terrible acting. It's never all there. But I feel like in this movie, it was all there. Like, the only thing that I would really change about it was the cousin. He just was unnecessary to me. And I feel like every movie be trying to, like, when it comes to romance, I guess you could say this is a romantic comedy, but the cousin was the only person who brought the comedy. And I feel like you could have a romantic comedy movie without having a comedian in it. There are certain things that can happen between the two characters that can be funny. You don't need a comedian, and I think that's what he was. To me, he wasn't funny. He was unnecessary. He was annoying. He was like a fly, a gnat in the room. Like, he was annoying to me. But I give it a 7 out of 10. Like I said, it was one of the best romance movies that I've seen on Tubi. I love the synopsis, the player being heartbroken, the player having to be heartbroken to understand the hurt he caused so many women. But especially to Corey and his mother. But I feel like him being affected by breaking his mom's heart the most. I like that. I like that they took it that direction rather it just being him breaking different women heart or whatever, because I kind of feel like niggas love their mama. Like you put their mama in it, the likelihood of them changing something, is more likely for them to change it. But I do feel like he learned his lesson, and I feel like they can have a functional relationship with the woman he's really in love with. Because I don't think that Jason loved Corey or any of those other women that he cheated on. I feel like he loved Tiana, and I do feel like he's gonna be faithful to her. And a lot of times that's how it happens. They'll get with a woman that like they want to be with, and they're willing to do everything that she wants them to do, and that's just how it is. And you were the woman that got your heart broken, but that's just what it is. But do I think serial cheaters can change? I really and truly believe that anybody can change when they want to. But in this climate, I don't believe that a serial cheater can change. If we didn't have social media and stuff like that, maybe. But with people be thinking that they got so many options, but really you don't. But social media makes people believe that they have so many options. So I feel like even people who weren't serial cheaters be serial cheaters because they could just keep going in people's inbox. They could just keep talking to people. It don't work out with this one person. They could find somebody else, and it's quick. But I feel like in this climate, no. Like I said, but I do think it's possible for anybody to change their behavior if they want to. But I don't think you're gonna make. I think something like this would make somebody change? No. Do I think playing a game like this on somebody gonna make them change? No, because as soon as they find out that you were playing them, they ain't even gonna want to be with you. You think that you breaking a person's heart is gonna make them be like, I love her? And in some instances, it may happen like that. Maybe you broke their heart and they want to be with you still, but the likelihood of that happen is very slim. It's not likely for something like that to happen. Like I said, I think that anybody can change, but I don't think that I won't say I don't think that a serial cheater can change. I'll say I think that the possibility is very slim. It's very, very slim, especially with a woman who's going to keep forgiving them. They're not going to change for you. They might change for a woman and not even necessarily like never cheated on her. But you, the woman that has been forgiving him over and over again, they not changing for a woman like that. But a woman who ain't gonna accept it, yeah. They ain't gonna. I don't feel like they're gonna change for the woman that they have been cheating on. But I think that they'll change to be with a different woman. But as far as you who think that your forgiveness and your ride or die and holding him down is gonna pay off, I don't believe that. Not one bit. I don't really believe that a man wants to be with a woman who's going to keep allowing him to do certain things. These men be saying that, but I don't think that they do, because they literally can get away with anything. That's why they don't end up with that woman. They usually will be with her for years and take her through so much and then go and be with a woman and never cheat on her. Like literally never cheat on her. And then you wondering why he did it to you, because you allowed him to do it to you. That's the same way I feel like about an abusive man or abusive person. I don't think that they're going to stop abusing the person that they've been abusing. But do I feel like they could get in another relationship and not be abusive? Yeah. But they ain't going to do it to the one that allowed it. Because you don't have no boundaries for them to stay within. You ain't got no boundaries. Anything that they do to you, you gonna forgive. So you don't even have conditions for this person to change. You don't have a space for this person to change because you allow anything to happen. So why would they change? How could they? You don't hold nothing. You don't have no type of boundaries set in place for them to stay within. So how could they? But yeah, I give the movie a 7 out of 10. I definitely think that y'all should go check it out. If y'all have seen a movie, let me know what y'all think about it in the comments. And if you watch it after watching this review, come back and let me know what you think. Do you think a serial cheater can stop cheating? Do you think those conditions that they put Jason in would make a serial cheater stop cheating? Let me know. But thank y'all for watching this video. I will see y'all in the next one. Bye. Before you go, check out my website at srgrahamwrites.org and subscribe to my mailing list to get exclusive updates on works in progress, other news, and blog posts. Thank you.